All right. All right, people, we got some stuff to talk about today. Let me just go ahead and share this live on YouTube. On Facebook real quick. All right, people, we got some stuff to talk about today. Let me just go ahead and share this live on YouTube. On Facebook real quick. All right, people, we got some stuff to talk about today. Let me just go ahead and share this live on YouTube. On Facebook real quick. All right, people, we got some stuff to talk about today. Let me just go ahead and share this live on YouTube. On Facebook real quick. All right, people, we got some stuff to talk about today. Let me just go ahead and boom, 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 boom. Okay, we almost ready, people. Just gotta share this so everybody know what is going on. Boom. Who else? Who else? Who else? All right, I'm trying to figure out how to see the chat. Let me see. No, that's studio. I don't want to go to the studio. I want to see the chat. All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chef Junie's TV. We got another live for you today. Like I said, we're gonna go live every single day until I hit that 4,000 subscribers. I mean, not 4,000 subscribers. We already got 14,000 subscribers, so I got two goals. I need to make it to 4,000 watch hours so I can get monetized again, and my second goal is to get to 20,000 subscribers. I'm at right under 14,000 subscribers right now, so we're gonna try to get to that 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but we definitely got to hit that 4,000 watch hours before February of next year. So let's let's just jump right into it. And for our first topic tonight, we are going to talk about Samuel Moore Jr. Rest in peace to Mr. Moore. Sending condolences to his family and everybody. Um, if y'all don't know who this man is, he was in a lot of movies, you know, especially growing up back in the day. For us, he was in Menace to Society. Um, he was the dude that got jumped in Menace to Society. He was in Players Club. He was in a bunch of stuff, but it was a lot of misinformation going on. Like this morning when I woke up, I seen like it was they were saying like he died already, but apparently he was just on life support. Don't Be a Menace set it off. Oh yeah, he was the brother and set it off. Tales from the Hood. If y'all haven't seen Tales from the Hood, that is a classic. Tales from the Hood. Um, what else was he in? Blood Sacrifice, Black Jesus. I Got the Hookup. So he was in a lot of movies. You know, I would say he's definitely known to be in a lot of Black Hood classic movies, I would say. But yeah, he there was a lot of misinformation going on this morning. They say he had already passed away, but apparently he just passed away a few hours ago. He was on life support. According to his wife, he was on a movie set when he caught meningitis, and from there he lost his life. But it's been a lot of people dying within the last week. Um, old boy from uh, Home Alone, he passed away. Dolly Parton, she passed away. Samuel, he passed away. Just been a lot of death from celebrities on my timeline over the last few days. And this one kind of hit home because I knew him. I didn't know him personally, but you know, just being out in the scene, being out in LA, you would bump into him. He was a nice, genuine, down to earth dude. Always had good conversations, always a good guy. So this one kind of hit close to home because I actually knew this guy. And like I say, he was a real good dude. So we we just want to send our condolences to his family, to his wife, to his I think he had kids, but definitely sending his condolences to his whole family. Um, we are definitely. Hold on, got a few. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can. Let me pull it up on my phone right now because I can't see the chat over there, but I probably could see the chat right here. All right, boom. Shout out to my bro Sylvan Heat in chat, Arfton in chat. Yeah, I can see you guys now. Let's go ahead and talk about. So how y'all like this setup? The last setup, somebody, Amy, was saying that that she couldn't see the videos. It was too small. So I put me down in the corner over here. I can make me bigger or smaller. I put me down over here in the corner. So we'll say it loud and clear. Okay, cool. I put me down here in the corner, and then we got the videos and stuff right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this other chat over here. Instagram. Shade room. Yeah, bear with me, people. This is the second day going live, so we got to learn the curve to go along, and we're gonna learn some stuff, and we're gonna figure this out together. Where's that post I'm looking for? So Joey Badass and his girl. I believe I was saying her name right, Serayah. They broke up, and she made a video. And we ain't gonna put too much on her because that's the homie.
Family knows and everything, but this person proposes to me, wants to build a life with me, has me move my life out here, cheats on me. I find out. Continuously he's telling me that he doesn't want that life. He wants me, da da da. Then proceeds to be out with people. And yes, I have my receipts. I have my receipts. But you guys will know who the this is. And I don't want this to be a confusion any longer. There's no podcast he can get on, sweet talking the world. It's over with. Even in private, because a lot of people,
like, what the is the point of that?
She's just lashing out.
Like,
who is this right here? This person right here. That's my sister. Of course she gonna be. Hold on. This girl right here. This is my sister. Of course she gonna be up in the chat. She always taking women's side, but you know, I'm taking Serayah's side too. So that's the homie. I'm biased, so I'm always biased. I'm always gonna stick up for the people I know.
This son's family. Like, it's a basketball.
I would see, because it's a really hard spot to get in, but then Sean residency, and I got you guys in for 7, but I need to text everyone back and see, but it was going to be around like 7-ish.
Oh,
and get around.
And then you'll come after, right?
Yeah, or before. Or we might not even go there, because I need to text them back.
So apparently that was Joey pillow talking with another chick about his woman. And if you're gonna cheat on your girl, if you're gonna, do your thing, don't pillow talk to another woman about your chick. That's like bottom of the barrel type of stuff to do. You should never dirty Mac your chick to another chick. But just so y'all know, I ain't capping. Because y'all be thinking I'll be capping. Hold on, why it's not coming up? Where is it at? All right, I don't know why it was not playing, but this is her right here. Me and her right here. To the event. She told me my food was the best food she ever had. She also said she wanted me to give her some cooking lessons. So if you see this video, tap in. I still got those cooking lessons for you. But yeah. But what happened with this was Tristan Thompson has some smoke for Joey, because apparently Joey was talking reckless about Tristan when he was cheating. He called out Tristan for cheating. Said Tristan Thompson gotta stop being a sorry ass N-word. Boom. Right, I ain't gonna read all that because I don't feel like censoring myself. But I mean, no, Tristan didn't have no smoke for him, but some old tweets came up. Like, how you gonna sit there and like this some? I mean, I don't know Joey. I never met him. From the people I do know that know him, say he a stand-up individual. But there's some hoe shit right here. There's some hoe shit right there. You gotta stop being a sorry ass nigga. Maybe Chloe is his homegirl. Maybe he know Chloe. Maybe, but still, for you to be a man publicly speaking about another man like that is weird. It's weird. They say ASAP is our last hope. ASAP better not mess up that $1 billion money from Rihanna. They said, oh boy, that's the guy I was talking about. He died. Home Alone 2. He was I think he worked in a hotel. Yeah, he was in a hotel. He wanted the tip money. Dirk is going through it right now. They say he about to get sent up the river. Somebody about to testify against him. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the mom who killed her 3 kids. What's her name?
A trial that has captured America, the trial of Lindsay Clancy.
The Massachusetts mother claims that postpartum psychosis led her to kill her 3 young children.
She became very depressed, and she was having a really hard time.
The central
All right, that's working. But the mic still ain't working. Mic check. Okay. Can y'all hear me? All right. Can y'all hear me? Now the stupid ass headphones ain't working. All right, let me know if you can hear me now. So this mic just died on me, so I gotta buy a new mic. Luckily I had a backup mic, but now I can't hear nothing. All right, let me try to. Let me try to reset it one more time because I can't hear nothing. Oh, let me go ahead and try to. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to figure this out because my mic just died on me. All right, give me 1 second. All right. I don't know. I can't hear nothing, but
Question for jurors is if she was legally responsible. At the time.
This trial has gone global.
I think you
could y'all hear this?
guys are judging the wrong person.
That's playing right now.
She was aware.
Because I can't hear nothing. I literally can't hear anything. Mm. Is it me or is it hot as hell in LA and it feels like we in Belize? Because this heat out here is something else. What the hell is going on? Let me try something else. All right. This shit about to piss me off. All right, we're gonna have to do this a different way because I can't hear shit in these headphones. So, but let's go ahead and do it like this instead.
A trial that has captured America. The trial of Lindsay Clancy.
All right,
The
let me know if you
Massachusetts
guys can
mother claims
hear
that postpartum
everything
psychosis led her to kill her three
right
young
now.
children.
She became very
Because-
depressed, and she was having a really hard time.
The central question for jurors
I
is if
can't
she was
monitor
legally
what's going on
responsible
right
at the
now
time.
with,
This trial has
with the
gone
mixer.
global.
I think you
Only
guys
can
are
listen
judging
to
the wrong
audio
person.
straight from-
She was aware that that was wrong or against the law,
straight from
and
the
that she could
computer,
be
so
punished.
I can't really
She
monitor
loved her
what's going
children,
on
all of them,
over
very, very
there.
much.
So let me know if you guys can hear this, and let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. But yeah, I don't know much about this case, so let's learn about this case together. All I know is that she killed her 3 kids. She killed her 3 kids, claimed postpartum depression, and then now she has a bunch of women at her trial rallying for her. And I think she raised over $1 million. They like started a GoFundMe and she raised like over $1 million for her case. And I heard there was like a lot of weird stuff going on with the case too. Like her husband said he went to the store, but he don't remember what time he went to the store and why it took him 30 minutes to go to a store that was 15 minutes from their house. or like 10 minutes from their house. Why did it take him 30 minutes? Then he like changed his clothes, or a whole bunch of weird stuff. So let's go ahead and
If the defendant is found not guilty by reason of lack of criminal responsibility, the district attorney or another appropriate authority may, and generally does, petition the court to commit the defendant to a mental health facility or to Bridgewater State Hospital. If the court concludes that the defendant is mentally ill and that her discharge would create a substantial likelihood of serious harm to herself or others, then the court will grant the petition and commit the defendant to a proper mental health facility or to Bridgewater State Hospital. Periodically, the court reviews the order of commitment. If the defendant is still suffering from mental disease or defect and is still dangerous, then the court will order the defendant to continue to be committed to the mental health facility or to Bridgewater State Hospital.
let me ask y'all something, right? If a man had a psychotic break and I gotta start using YouTube friendly terms. If a man had a psychotic break and he unalived 3 of his children, and he claimed that, you know, he was going through some mental health issues, he was misdiagnosed, and the doctors that was prescribing him medicine wasn't giving him the right medicine. If that man killed 3 of his kids, do you think anybody will be rallying around him? And do you think he would be able to raise $1 million? I think women have a cheat code. And I don't care if you was going through postpartum depression, for you to unalive 3 of your kids, and it wasn't like she drove them all off a cliff together or something like that. She killed each one individually, allegedly. Let me see if I could actually pull up some facts about this case. Let me see. All right, so she never disputed killing her kids. She said she killed them, but she claiming she killed them because she was going through postpartum depression. Charged with murder and the death of her children. She was on maternity leave from her job. Wow, she was on leave from her job as a labor and delivery nurse when she strangled her children in 2023. So like I said, this wasn't like I went crazy, for lack of better terms, and I drove off a cliff, or I you know, something that was like instant. She literally took her time. She strangled each one of her kids, one at a time. Um, that's disturbing. Like, I have no sympathy for this lady. I don't understand why women are rallying around her and, you know, having sympathy for her. Like, why does this postpartum psychosis and these people that go crazy, why they never harm themselves? Like, she wasn't in her right mind, so she said, I'm gonna kill my kids. Like, she wasn't in her right mind where she said, I'm gonna kill myself, but she was in her right mind where she said, I'm gonna kill my kids. Right?
Is so shocking as to amount to murder with extreme atrocity or cruelty.
This young lady did nothing wrong in her life. She was a nurse, a daughter, a wife, and a darn good mother.
She wasn't a damn good mother. She killed her kids. You can't be a damn good mother and you kill your kids.
This case is not about our mental health system or how it treats women or what's in the DSM-5 and what's not. That's a distraction to get you angry and passionate about an important issue, but an issue that's not on trial here. What's on trial here, what the issue is here, is what Lindsay Clancy did the night of January 24th, 2023, and what her mental state was at the time.
And what I just kind of wanted to make clear, you can consider the defendant's mental condition at the time of the killing, including any credible evidence of mental impairment or the effect on the defendant of her consumption of prescription drugs in determining the elements in murder in the second degree.
Yeah, I think the jury is deliberating right now, so we should have a verdict soon. Let's see how much all right. They started a GoFundMe for this lady, right? It raised over $1 million, roughly 31,000 donors. 31,000 people donated to this evil person that killed her 3 kids. The funds are for her retired parents. Why do her retired parents need money? They're retired. Like, why are they raising this money for her? For her parents. It's not like she gonna go to jail and they need the money to take care of the kids. The kids ain't here no more. But they did that because I believe on GoFundMe, you can't raise money for lawyer fees and stuff like that. I believe that's the part of the terms of service that you can't raise money for legal fees and stuff like that. So they claim the money is for the retired parents. I don't understand why her retired parents need over $1 million or they need to raise money. It's not like they have grandkids to look after no more. Her kids was 5, 3, and 8 months. 5 years old, 3 years old, and 8 months. These are the parents. These are the parents that they raised the $1 million for, quote unquote. They raised it for, but these are for her legal fees. These are definitely for her legal fees. Let me see.
And that message is that it should not take tragedy. And that message is for people to start paying attention to mental health.
Hundreds of women dressed in pink gathered outside a Massachusetts courthouse this week. They were there to support Lindsay Clancy, who is on trial. Hundreds of women dressed in pink gathered outside a Massachusetts courthouse this week.
I'm telling you right now, all these women right here, all these women that's out here supporting her is batshit crazy. Look at them. All of them are batshit crazy. You think, like I said, you think if it was a man that killed 3 kids, any man will be outside supporting him?
They were there to support Lindsay Clancy, who is on trial for the death of her 3 children. The rally has drawn attention because Clancy's supporters are not disputing the deaths. Her defense is making a different argument. It says that Clancy was suffering from severe mental illness at the time and should not be held criminally responsible. That has turned the trial into a wider debate about postpartum mental health, medical care, and criminal responsibility. But what exactly are these women supporting? And why has this case?
You could just tell by, like I said, all these women right here are batshit crazy.
Become a national conversation about women's mental health. Clancy was a 32-year-old mother living in Duxbury, Massachusetts when her 3 children died in January 2023. The children were Cora, 5, Dawson, 3, and Callan, who was 8 months old. Clancy has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder. Her defense does not dispute that she killed the children. Instead, it argues that she was experiencing a severe psychiatric crisis and was not criminally responsible for her actions. Prosecutors, however, disagree. They argue that the killings were intentional and planned and have questioned whether Clancy's subsequent suicide attempt was genuine. The jury must ultimately decide how her mental state affects her criminal responsibility.
I wonder if anybody could use that excuse. Can anybody use that excuse and say, yo, I was having a psychotic break. I don't know what happened. I was having a psychotic break. I wonder if I could kill somebody and say, oh, I was having a psychotic break. I don't know what happened.
And that is where the postpartum psychosis comes into the case.
Well, I guess that is the whole insanity case, and I should say the whole insanity defense. But a lot of people try to use that, and a lot of people don't get off by using they were insane. They had lapse of judgment because they were temporarily insane. I don't know if that's a good enough defense when you literally took each one of your kids and strangled them until they died. Each one. You couldn't strangle all 3 of them together. So you had to do them each one at a time.
Postpartum psychosis is a rare but severe psychiatric disorder that can occur after childbirth. Researchers estimate that it affects roughly 1 to 2 women in every 1,000 after delivery. It is different from the more common postpartum depression. A person experiencing psychosis can lose contact with reality and may experience hallucinations, delusions, and severe confusion. Clancy's defense says that she was suffering from postpartum psychosis alongside bipolar disorder.
How could you prove that, though? Like, how could you prove that? If that's the case, every woman that had a baby could say that they had a moment of postpartum psychosis. Like, how can that be proven? If that's the case, like I said, every woman can say that. They don't want their kid no more, or they don't want to be with their husband no more, or their neighbors getting on their nerves. They could kill somebody and say, yo, postpartum psychosis. What you gonna do about it, postpartum psychosis?
Psychologist who testified for the defense said Clancy was unable to appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions because of her mental illness. But prosecutors have presented a different picture of what happened before the deaths. They say that Clancy had planned the killings and deliberately created a situation in which her husband would leave the house. That conflict over her mental state is now at the center of the trial.
Listen what they said.
But prosecutors have presented a different picture of what happened before the deaths. They say that Clancy had planned the killings and deliberately created a situation in which her husband would leave the house. That conflict over her mental state is now at the center of the trial.
So the prosecutors are saying, yo, she planned to kill them. And she created a scenario that her husband, or she created a scenario to where her husband would leave the house. So now she could be alone and do her evil act with nobody there.
The rally outside the Plymouth Superior Court was the
Look at all these crazy women. Batshit crazy. Fellas, remember their faces. Yeah, that's sad they got this little girl out there, this little baby out there. Remember all these women faces. These are women that you want to avoid at all costs. These are women that the type that is gonna make themselves the victim in any scenario. You can say good morning, and they're gonna figure out a way to be a victim of you saying good morning to them. You gotta avoid these type of women.
largest show of public support for Clancy during the trial so far. Many of the roughly 300 people wore pink. Some carried messages including peace for Lindsay and justice for Lindsay. Supporters say that they are not simply focusing on the crime.
We're here to send one message, and that message is that it should not take tragedy for people to start paying attention to mental health.
They say that the case highlights how women's mental health concerns.
I wonder if she would say the same thing if a man had mental health issues, was bipolar, schizophrenic, and killed 3 kids. Especially if it was a black man. I wonder if she would have had that same rhetoric if it was a black man. Or she only think like that because it's a woman. You know, that's how these feminists think, right? That's how these feminists move. She thinks like that for women, but not for men.
Concerns can be dismissed or inadequately treated. Several women at the rally spoke about their own experiences of feeling unheard when seeking medical or psychiatric help. For them, the case has become a way to draw attention to postpartum mental health and need for better care.
It was wonderful to see so many women come together to support such a wonderful cause. And for me, being here is important because the Massachusetts system, healthcare system, failed Lindsay. She reached out for help multiple times. She told them that she was having thoughts of harming her children and harming herself, and she was turned away countless times at countless locations.
But supporting Clancy...
Where's the proof of that? Did they present that in trial? Did they present proof that she reached out and said, I think I want to harm my kids and harm myself? Because I know for a fact, if you tell any type of healthcare professional that you're thinking about harming yourself or let alone harming your kids, they're going to step in. So where's the fact? Are you just saying that? Where's the facts of that? Because I can guarantee you that if she told that to a healthcare professional, they're going to step in. They're either going to step in and remove the kids from her, until she get the proper help she needs, but they're going to step in. Even if she says she's going to harm herself, they're going to step in, they're going to put her on the psychiatric hold. They're going to do all kind of stuff. They're not just going to be like, oh, well, you're going through some stuff, you think about you going to hurt your kids and hurt yourself. Oh, well, that's not how they do things. So are you just saying that, lady? Where's the proof? Did they present that in trial?
It does not mean the facts of the case have been settled. The jury is still weighing competing accounts of her condition and what she understood at the time. That is what makes this case particularly difficult. There are really 2 questions being examined. What happened to the 3 children? And what was happening inside Clancy's mind when it happened? The prosecution says she is criminally responsible for deliberate acts. The defense says that severe mental illness prevented her from understanding the wrongfulness of those acts. The trial has also put Clancy's previous attempts to seek psychiatric help under scrutiny. Evidence has included her treatment, medications, and concerns about her worsening mental health before the deaths. And the court has heard testimony about symptoms, and the defense says there were signs of a serious psychiatric disorder. The Pink Rally has therefore created a second conversation outside the courtroom. Hundreds have gathered at a Pink Rally with supporters holding signs including peace for Lindsay and she needed help. But that support has also triggered a backlash online. On TikTok, some mothers have filmed themselves crying or staring into the camera while holding their own babies, using the phrase "same Lindsay" alongside excerpts from Clancy's journals. Critics say that there is an important difference between demanding better mental health support for mothers and identifying personally with a case involving the deaths of 3 children. Some have accused the creators of turning the case into performative social media content, while others argue that the trend risks equating the exhaustion and anxiety experienced.
I hope my video don't get flagged for using a video, but this is fair use. This is fair use. I don't want y'all to flag my video because I used some of y'all video. I was reacting to your video.
By many. And while that debate is playing outside the courtroom, the jury is still weighing the evidence inside it. For now, the trial continues.
You're over, right?
Okay.
Just because you...
Whoa. Guilty and remains under medical care after suffering spinal injuries in her 2023 suicide attempt. If convicted for murder, she faces life in prison without parole. If found not criminally responsible, for now, the trial continues in Massachusetts. Clancy has pleaded not guilty and remains under medical care after suffering spinal injuries in her 2023 suicide attempt. If convicted for murder, she faces life in prison without parole. If found not criminally responsible, she would instead be committed to a state mental health facility.
The revolution is made through human beings, but individuals must...
Lindsay Clancy, what a weird, dark story, folks. If
I
you're
don't like this dude. This dude is racist. He's a racist piece of shit. So we're not gonna watch his video.
And that message is that it should not take tragedy for people to start paying attention to mental health.
Lindsay Clancy.
Not have a criminal offense here is the criminal acts.
Shout out Nate the lawyer.
Okay, if you're new here, this is the way we're going to break this down. First, we're going to examine the law. So
I thought that was PBD video, but this is Nate the lawyer's video.
You understand what you're looking for when we examine the facts. And then at the end, you're going to play the juror and come to the conclusion. Okay, 2 quick disclaimers. Number 1, this is not legal advice. You all should know that. It's in the description. And number 2, this is going to be a super simple explanation of something that's a lot more complex. So take it for what it is. Now, I want to start this story off by explaining to you the difference between actus reus and mens rea. Those are the 2 things that are required to commit a crime in the United States.
I have no idea what neither one of those mean. So hopefully he gonna explain to us what those mean.
Actus reus is the criminal act. So, for instance, in a murder prosecution, the actus reus would be the actual killing of a human being. Now, satisfying the actus reus is not enough to obtain a criminal conviction. You need to also satisfy the mens rea. We also call it the culpable mental state. So, in our murder example, we have the killing of a human being. That's the actus reus. But what happens if that killing was done accidentally? Well, that means this wouldn't rise to the level of a crime. But if that killing was done intentionally, then that would satisfy the mens rea, culpable mental state, of murder. So now that
But even if you accidentally kill somebody, you still will go to jail. Depends on the circumstances. If you accidentally kill somebody, well, I guess it all depends on the circumstances, because wasn't it Alex Baldwin accidentally killed that lady on set, and he didn't get locked up.
you understand that when going into the Lindsay Clancy case, I need you guys to understand this case is not about the actus reus. No one disputes that Lindsay Clancy actually killed her children. This case, this prosecution is solely based on the mens rea component of this story. And the prosecution is saying that Lindsay intentionally killed her children, satisfying the mens rea for first-degree murder. And the defense is saying she didn't intentionally do anything because at the time she was suffering from a mental disease. Think of it this way. Let's say some person with some neurological disorder has an involuntary muscle spasm and then strikes the person next to them. That generally would be an assault. You have to hit someone, that's the actus reus for the assault. But the mens rea required for that to be a criminal assault is you had to do it intentionally. But because the neurological disorder caused a muscle spasm, then you would not have a criminal offense here because you don't satisfy mens rea, not guilty by means of mental disease or defect. So as we go through the facts, we're trying to figure out if the government can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she satisfied the mens rea required for
But that doesn't work for every scenario, because if I go out and I get drunk, and because I'm not in my right mind, I'm mentally incapacitated, and because I'm not in my right mind, I grab the keys to my car, hop in my car, drive down the road, and kill somebody. I wasn't in my right mind when that happened. So how does that work?
Murder, which is an intentional killing. So Lindsay Clancy was born August 11th, 1990, and she was raised in Connecticut. She attended college, completed a nursing program, and became a labor and delivery nurse at Massachusetts General Hospital. She then worked as a nurse for about 9 years before she met her husband, Patrick Clancy. Now, they got married in 2016 and moved to an upper-class community in the great state of Massachusetts. Now, from the trial and all reports, people who knew Lindsay, including her husband, former co-workers, friends, everybody, described her as loving, attentive, and a compassionate nurse.
Did you know that she had a child, Cora?
Yes.
And did you know that she had a child, Dawson?
Yes.
And ultimately that she had a child, a baby that was born very, very recently, Cal. In the years that you were working with her, were you able to observe, I mean, did she like being a nurse? Did she want to work, or was she a good nurse? What's your opinion?
Lindsay loved being a nurse. She was really good at being a nurse. She was compassionate. She was kind. She was a patient advocate. She was the type of nurse that you wanted taking care of you or your loved one when you walked onto our unit.
They said that she was also a...
Now, I don't know if y'all noticed about me, but many, many years ago, about 2017, I think between like 2000 and, I want to say 14 to about 2017, I was a CNA at a hospital. I was a CNA at USC Keck Hospital, and I knew a lot of good nurses. I knew a lot of good nurses that were shitty human beings. So two things could be the same. I mean, two things could be truth at the same time. Two things could be the truth. You could be a good nurse, and you could be a shitty human being. So by them saying she's a good nurse, that really doesn't mean anything.
Loving mother. According to her husband, Patrick, Lindsay had never been violent with the children, and there was never any history of abusing the children or any signs of mistreatment. The family was also financially secure, had extended family support, used a daycare. At one point, there was even a nanny. There was no custody dispute, no secret affair, no financial crisis, absolutely no motive for killing the children. Now, Lindsay reported to professionals that after becoming a mother, she started having anxiety about going back to work. After her first 2 children were born, she returned to work only part-time. And after her 3rd child was born, she didn't return to work at all. By the fall of 2022, Lindsay had spoken to medical professionals and was getting treatment for anxiety and severe insomnia. She couldn't sleep for days. Here's her husband at the time, Patrick Clancy, explaining it.
On November 16th, 2022, did Lindsay visit South Shore Hospital?
Yes.
Okay. And why did she go to the South Shore Hospital that day?
I believe that day it was because she basically went 48 hours without sleeping.
And was she having heart palpitations?
I think so, yeah.
Now, according to her husband, Patrick, she physically started looking differently. She had lost a tremendous amount of weight, appeared deeply depressed, struggled to eat anything, and sometimes went days without sleeping. On one occasion, the insomnia got so bad that Lindsay drove herself to the emergency room where she got sleeping medication. Now, over the next 4 months, doctors started prescribing a long list of psychiatric drugs to Lindsay.
Was she prescribed buspirone, otherwise known as Vanspar?
Yes.
about Wellbutrin.
Yes.
Hydroxyzine. What is hydroxyzine?
It can be used for a number of reasons, but for psychiatric purposes, it's often used as an anti-anxiety medication.
And
I thought hydroxyzine was to help you lose weight. Or is that, oh, that's hydroxycut. My bad, hydroxycut.
Klonopin.
Yes.
And then lamotrigine.
Yep, lamotrigine.
Lamotrigine, sorry. And then we talked about Prozac, that's an SSRI, correct?
Correct.
And what's Remeron?
Also an antidepressant.
She was also prescribed Seroquel, amitriptyline.
Yes.
And Ambien, correct?
Correct.
And Zolpidem.
Yep, Zolpidem is the generic name of Ambien.
It's an awful lot of drugs to be prescribed in 4 months, isn't it?
Now, these drugs were taken over the course of 4 months, and I need to make 2 critical distinctions. Number one, all of these medications weren't taken at the same time, and some of these medications weren't taken at all, as the prosecutor mentions here.
You know that many of those drugs she took a very small amount of. Some she didn't take any pills at all.
I was not aware of that.
For Buspar, which is one of the ones he mentioned, were you aware the first prescription she only took 2 pills out of that bottle?
I was not aware.
Were you aware the second prescription a month or so later for Buspar, she took 0 pills out of that bottle?
I was not aware.
All right, give me a quick second to pay a bill. Here's a message from this video sponsor, Keat. Okay, think about what passes through you belongs to you, and only you. Now, back to the video.
Sorry, Nate, but I'm not getting paid from that ad, so I'm gonna have to skip over that. But let's just watch a little bit more of his video because I don't want to get copyright strike, even though it is fair use. And then we're gonna look at this other video where they talk about some more of the evidence.
Now, 1 month before the incident, Lindsay had disclosed that she was having thoughts of harming herself. She even told her husband that she was experiencing intrusive thoughts involving harming the children.
Going back to that first part, she said she had thoughts of harming the kids. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And did she tell you whether or not she had specific thoughts of how she would harm the kids?
No.
And she didn't describe that as hearing this external voice telling her to harm the kids, correct?
Correct.
She told you she was having intrusive thoughts herself of harming the children, correct?
Correct. Do you find it disturbing? And she said yes. And she described it as really the way she was describing it as something that might happen to the kids.
So it was more something might happen than she might do something. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Patrick was concerned enough to even ask his wife if she believed that she needed to be separated from the kids, and she told him no. Now, things were going so bad that on January 1st, 2023, Lindsay checked herself into a psychiatric hospital for inpatient psychiatric treatment. Now, on January 5th, she was discharged from the hospital. Now, Lindsay's husband, Patrick, said her condition actually improved after the hospital stay. They went on family.
So in the last video where the lady lied and said that she told medical professionals, I think I heard that correct, that she said that, or she told somebody that she had thoughts of killing herself and killing her kids. The husband is saying something totally different here. So like that's what I'm saying. Like these women, they bend the truth to fit their narrative so they can say, oh, we're going to support her. Because these feminists are crazy like that.
Family outings, and things started becoming normal again. He even felt comfortable leaving her alone with the children, even though she had reported having these feelings in the past. Now, we're going to fast forward to approximately 3 weeks later on January 24th, 2023. In the morning, Lindsay woke up and took a 5-year-old to a routine pediatric appointment. The doctor actually testified that everything looked fine when he examined the child. After the doctor's visit, she then returned home and played with the kids in the snow. At 4 o'clock that day, Lindsay searched online for children's Miralax. Then, about 10 minutes later, she searched for takeout at a local restaurant. Then, about 30 minutes after that, she called a local CVS to find out if they had a specific children's medication. Then, approximately 5 minutes after that, she then texted her husband, Patrick, and asked him to pick up dinner. Now, Patrick left the house at about 5:15 and drove.
This is what I was telling y'all earlier about the weird part about this, where the husband left his house and took him. Well, they're going to explain it, but this was what's weird about the husband, where I had suspicions about the husband too.
to the CVS first and then went to a restaurant. All of this was caught on video surveillance. Now, Patrick was gone for roughly about 50 minutes, and when he returned, he found something very disturbing. Lindsay had killed all 3 of their children by strangulation, and Lindsay cut her own wrist, neck, and then jumped out a second-story window. Now, the children...
So that's why she's in the wheelchair at the hospital. I mean, not at the hospital. That's why she's in a wheelchair whenever you see her in court, because apparently she was left paralyzed from the waist down.
Children did not survive the encounter, but Lindsay did with severe spinal injuries, and she now remains paralyzed from the waist down. Here is...
Yeah, ironically, the kids didn't survive, but she did.
Local news coverage at the time the bodies were discovered.
A horrific story is unfolding tonight at a home in Duxbury. Investigators say 2 children are dead and an infant is in the hospital. The DA also saying their mother jumped out of a window. Now, she survived, but police say she was trying to end her own life.
Investigators say a 5-year-old girl and 3-year-old boy are dead, and an 8-month-old baby is in a Boston hospital. Their mother is in a South Shore hospital after apparently jumping from a window. The DA says a man who lives in the home, presumably the father, got home shortly after 6 p.m. and discovered the woman first.
So now, with these facts, prosecutors charge Lindsay with first-degree murder.
This morning, an arrest warrant is issued for Duxbury mother accused of killing her 2 children and sending her 8-month-old baby boy to the hospital.
The Plymouth County DA says Lindsay Clancy will be charged with 2 counts of homicide, 3 counts of strangulation, and 3 counts of assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Okay, so this is where we come full circle. Earlier, we discussed the difference between the mens rea, guilty mind, and the actus reus, the criminal act. And in this case, no one disputes the fact that Lindsay killed her children. So as to the actus reus...
Look at that face. You could tell this lady is crazy. You could tell that before she had this postpartum psychosis, she was crazy. Look at her face. Is she going through postpartum psychosis right now? She got that crazy look on her face.
It's been satisfied, and there's really no argument about that. But now, as to the mens rea, the guilty mind, the government has to prove that Lindsay intentionally killed these children beyond a reasonable doubt. So the prosecutors say Lindsay was mentally ill, but she wasn't psychotic and understood that killing the children were wrong. And the prosecutors say they have evidence that this was premeditated. The first thing they point to is Lindsay's internet searches. During those searches, she looked at how long it would take someone to go pick up dinner, to go to CVS. And after figuring out those travel times, she sent her husband Patrick to go pick those things up. They say this is evidence of planning and organizing.
Yeah, so you looked up how long it would take. I mean, not to give her the benefit of the doubt. I mean, no, because I would never look up how long would it take to do this and do that. I would look up maybe like, is it traffic, or, I would look up like, how long it would take right now with traffic, but I want to look up how long it would take for somebody to go to CVS, to the restaurant, and back to home.
Thinking. They also say that her husband Patrick says that Lindsay never reported hearing voices or appeared disconnected from reality. Prosecutors also say when you look at Lindsay's journals and medical records, there was no documentation of hallucinations or delusions before the killings. And their position is that Lindsay made a conscious and calculated decision, and that intent satisfies the mens rea for the crime of murder in the first degree. Now again, prosecutors admit that Lindsay was mentally ill, but they say the evidence shows beyond a reasonable doubt that she knew what she was doing when she did it.
And when she woke in the hospital and she knew she was alive and the kids weren't, she knew what she did was wrong. She said she felt horrified. And then, while still with a tube in her throat, she's asking, do I have a lawyer? Do I have a lawyer? Because she knows what she did was wrong.
Yeah, you went crazy. You had this postpartum psychosis, but you was in the right mind to say, do I have a lawyer? You was that much in your right mind to say, do I have a lawyer?
And then we get the justification, the excuse of the voice. The voice doesn't make sense. The first is she immediately obeyed it. Dr. Resnick, their expert, the one who knows everything about postpartum psychosis. He teaches other psychiatrists and psychologists. He writes books and chapters and articles about how this is a huge red flag if someone immediately obeys a voice. Lindsay Clancy hears his voice one time and does it. Doesn't try to lock herself in the bathroom, call Patrick, call 911. Doesn't try to leave. You know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know, but I've heard stories of people that was on meth that cooked their baby, or people that was on like heroin and crack and stuff that, you know, put their baby in the oven, ate their baby, or cut their baby up and stuff like that. I never heard of postpartum psychosis, where you hear something in your head and you instantly act on it. This was after years of people being on these drugs, not in an instant.
Yeah, leaving little children alone for 20, 30 minutes, not the greatest option, but it's better than killing them.
Now, the defense obviously argues that Lindsay is suffering from postpartum psychosis, a severe mental illness, which includes hallucinations, thoughts of self-harm, anxiety, depression, and intrusive thoughts. And the defense's argument is extremely simple. This woman was a caretaker. She was a nurse. She has absolutely no history of violence toward others or any hostility toward her children. And let me be clear, we're talking about every single person that interacted with Lindsay. We're talking about her in-laws. We're talking about her husband. We're talking about her friends, family, co-workers. There was not one person who said Lindsay showed any signs of violence before this particular incident. And then even when she felt that she had some issues, she let her husband know. She went to a doctor's office. She checked herself into a hospital. And those doctors prescribed her multiple amounts of these different psychiatric drugs. And we're supposed to believe that a woman who had absolutely no history of any type of violence against anyone, all of a sudden in one day plans to kill her children, send her husband away on errands that make no sense, and then try to kill herself. And the thing that hurts the prosecution's case the most is the fact that there's absolutely no motive. They were upper middle class. They had no financial issues. There's no evidence of anyone cheating on anyone. And after looking at everything, there is absolutely no rational motive why Lindsay would want the children dead.
Because remember the government's opening when they told you she wasn't suffering from the psychosis. She was a woman that didn't want to live her life anymore. Wasn't.
Unfortunately, she is a white woman in America, so more than likely she's going to get off. But this kind of reminds me of the case of that young girl that killed her, that drove her car into a brick wall. It was on Netflix, a Netflix documentary. She drove her car into a brick wall and killed her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friend that was in the car with him. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow, but there's something disturbing about that case that everybody is not talking about. I got to look at it again, but I believe she was like 15 or 16 and her boyfriend was like 21, something like that. So we're going to talk about that one tomorrow. We probably going to look deeper into that one and talk about that one tomorrow.
Happy being a mother. Didn't want to live that life. So she's going to kill her kids and hopefully throw herself out the window and not paralyze herself, and then she could run off into the sunset, I guess. That's what their theory was. Along with the fact it wasn't a real good suicide, it was fake.
I mean, that's a pretty good theory. Hey, let me make this look real. Let me jump from a two-story building. Not two-story, but let me jump from the second floor. I know a lot of people that jump. I know most people that jump from a second floor house that survived the jump. You know. And how did she cut her wrist? Did she make a little cut on it? Did she cut it long way? Did she cut it? How did she cut her wrist? Did she cut it to where she really wanted to bleed out? Or did she kill her kids and say, yo, how can I make this look like I went crazy? Oh, let me cut my wrist. Let me jump out the window. And let me jump out my window. And I know she wasn't planning on being paralyzed. She just thought she'd jump out the window and break her leg or something.
Well, now we know. She's looking this stuff up in between taking care of the family, in between all of the stuff that was going on with visiting doctors, seeing doctors, going to Rhode Island, being told, no, we can't help you, calling a suicide hotline, we can't help you, calling another Suicide hotline, we can't help you. My God, what does she have to do?
I want to know what suicide hotline she called where they said, no, I can't help you. I could go on Chat GPT right now, an AI robot, and tell Chat GPT, man, I'm thinking about harming myself. And he's going to give me numbers and resources and all kind of stuff. And he might even call the police on me. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but I know he'll at least give me numbers to different suicide hotlines to call. And the suicide hotline is there for this type of stuff. You mean to tell me that she called the suicide hotline and they said, sorry, we can't help you. Hey, suicide hotline. I'm thinking about killing myself with my kids. Sorry, we can't help you. Click. Make it make sense. I hope there's men on this jury and it's not a bunch of crazy women on this jury.
She was reaching out for help, and she was not getting it. She turns herself in to McLean Hospital. You saw the doctor, nice woman. She's testifying. She didn't know. I suggest to you that she didn't know hardly anything, let alone psychosis involving a young lady like her going through what she was going through. This young lady is not guilty of the killing of her children because she was suffering from a disease and defect, as His Honor instructed you.
So the jury's going to have to decide if this was an intentional killing by someone who understood what they were doing, or if this is someone who was suffering from a mental illness at the time and did not understand what they were doing. Now, before you start thinking about whether she's guilty or not guilty, or even if you've already come to your own conclusion, I also want you to consider this. Let's say Lindsay is found not guilty because of mental disease or defect. That doesn't mean she goes home. That means she goes to a mental institution and is likely going to spend decades in that institution. For instance, Andrea Yates, who drowned her 5 children back in 2001. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity, and she is still, to this day, in the mental institution after 25 years.
Mr. Foreman, has the jury reached a verdict in each case?
A different outcome.
We, the jury, find the defendant Andrea P.A. Yates not guilty by reason of insanity. Signed, Todd Christopher Frank, foreman of the jury.
This time the jury sided with the defense. Instead of prison, Yates was committed to a state mental hospital where she remains under court supervision.
So as you see, either way, Lindsay is going to be locked up. Either she's going to go to a jail cell or she's going to go to a hospital, but she is not going back to the streets. Now, before you guys destroy me in the comments section, I need to say this. This is not the traditional whodunit. Everyone agrees Lindsay Clancy killed her 3 children. Your job as a juror is to understand what was going on in this woman's mind at the time these crimes were committed. If it's in...
All right, let's see what some of these comments have to say. I don't know how anyone could come to any other conclusion than this was first-degree murder on all 3 counts. Get rid of the insanity defense. Yeah, get rid of the insanity defense because anybody can use it. Yo, I went crazy. It was still premeditated. She sent her husband on errands. Yeah, facts. She sent her husband away you sent your husband away to go to the store and get food. So you mean to tell me it was just a coincidence that you sent your husband away and that's when you had this psychotic break and killed your kids? Everybody saying the same thing. I'm so tired of the not guilty by reason of insanity. She killed 3 children. End of story. Jail or mental institution, then jail. The only insanity in this case is people supporting her. She's a murderer. The people that support her are the ones that's insane. Let me see. I don't see nobody in the comments that support her. She deserved to be removed from society. Yeah, I don't see nobody support her, but let's go ahead and look at this last video about this. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see what.
Well, Patrick Clancy is who told the forensic dude Lindsay crushed up pills and put in a lemonade. Because mind you, the lemonade. Well, Patrick Clancy is who told the forensic dude Lindsay crushed up pills and put in a lemonade. Because mind you, the lemonade was never tested.
And how did you learn that she had crushed the pills?
I learned after interviewing her husband, Patrick.
This man right here says in his testimony that Lindsay told him the lemonade on the nightstand was from the night before. But Patrick told him lemonade in the house was unusual. They don't have lemonade in the house, which, okay. I don't know if he does the groceries to know they don't buy lemonade or whatever, but okay. Then he also says Patrick is the one who told him about the locked door. When he asked Lindsay, Lindsay had no idea the door was locked. But Patrick said in his testimony, when he came home, he barely took 2 steps in the room. Barely took 2 steps in a room before he realized the window was open, therefore went outside to check on Lindsay, who was outside on the ground. So, if I'm being logical here, taking 2 steps in a room at night doesn't equal you saw pills crushed up. The forensic dude says Patrick walked in through the night and he's recalling everything. Why am I telling the story? Just listen.
And he went through.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things about this case that doesn't make sense.
That evening and talked about coming to the home. Mentioned that on the bedside table there was a wine tumbler with powdered medication, crushed up medication, that there was still some in the wine tumbler. And I had not heard, I mean, she had not told me that she had actually crushed medication.
So what you're telling me is the lemonade was never tested. Patrick is the one that told you guys there were pills in the lemonade, and you all said, good to go. Roger that. But she couldn't talk. She didn't tell him that. And are you telling me after Patrick saw her on the ground and helped with the kids and everything, the cops let Patrick back up in the room at the crime scene? But nobody tested the cup. Till today, nobody has tested the cup. We're just assuming it was pills in the cup. That can't possibly be what you're telling me, right? Does it make sense to you? If it does, please explain it to me. I would love to know.
It don't make sense to me at all. It don't make sense at all. Crushed up pills. Was it a wine cup or was it a lemonade? Because he said wine tumbler. I don't know, people. Let me know in the comments. Where we at with time? We hour and 30 minutes in already. We got 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes to more on this stream to go. Did y'all hear about that YouTuber that I don't know why this supposed to be up like that. That YouTuber that was drunk driving, not YouTuber but TikToker that was drunk driving and killed that guy. Let's see if I can find the video. Where is that video? Oh no, I can't find that video. But this this video is I liked this. This was actually pretty funny.
Love that saying. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I led a horse to water. The horse looked at it and said, "Is this tap?" I said, "No, it's a natural spring." He said, "I'm trying to avoid microplastics." So I filtered the water. Then he said it was too cold, so I warmed it up. Then he asked if I had a lemon, so I added lemon. He took one sip and said, "Actually, citrus triggers my acid reflux," so I made him a fresh glass. Finally, I said, "Do you want water or not?" And he said, "Wow, I didn't realize my hydration journey was such an inconvenience to you." I said, "It's not an inconvenience. You keep telling me you're thirsty." He said, "I am thirsty, but every time I express that, you immediately jump into solution mode." I said, "The solution is water." He said, "See, you're doing it again." The next day, he complained that he had a headache, no energy, and his mouth was dry. I said, "You're dehydrated." He said, "Could you stop trying to diagnose me?" I said, "You're a horse standing beside a river." He said, "I don't need judgment right now. I need you to hold space for my thirst." So I sat beside him and held space for 6 hours. Eventually, I got thirsty. I reached for the water. He said, "Wow, I wish healing came that easily for me." So I stopped bringing him to the river. Then he told everyone I abandoned him at his lowest. Now he hosts a podcast called Thirst is a Teacher. He still hasn't had a drink, but his boundaries are incredible. I love that saying. If you know a horse like this, send them this video. They won't watch it, obviously, but at least you tried.
Yeah, so basically, sometimes people just want to vent to you. They don't want your advice. They don't want your help. They don't want nothing but to vent. So it's best if you just shut the hell up and listen to them. That's the best thing you could do. Shut the hell up and listen to them. Don't give them no advice. Don't try to fix their situation. Don't try to fix the problem that they brought to you. Just shut up and listen. And then if they want your help, they will ask you for your help. I'm still trying to find that that video of the young lady that was drunk driving and killed the guy when she was drunk driving. I forgot her name. I would just Google her name, but I don't know her name. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. All right, let's talk about some LA drama. Let's close it out. Let's close it out with some drama that's going on in LA. Shout out to the homies over there at Figmunity World. Pun, AD, T-Rail, Duno, Smack. Let's go ahead and
I wonder what you were going to start with out.
RJ versus Dejan. Shout out to Dejan too. Shout out to Dejan, that's the homie.
Thinking about that shit on Depop.
I used to be T-Rail Depop from Dejan Depop.
Dejan got fits. We call that Dejan.
Dejan Depop.
His name Dejan or Dejan?
Dark Rainbow.
Oh yeah, Dark
Summarize it
Rainbow.
up.
Is he still going by that?
Oh, he's going. Speaking of going, he's going off of your boy right now, RJ.
Protege.
He's
Why?
tearing RJ apart.
What is he doing to RJ?
Man, he talking about his painted nails now. I thought they ran across each other at the event. On Saturday. Was it Saturday? Sunday?
Yeah.
What event was that? What was that?
It was
It's
some
called
shit.
August Fest, right? August Fest. Shout out to whoever throws August Fest. Shout out.
August Fest. I think Dejan was hosting it, I believe. Let me see.
Motherfucking internet, I'm gonna tell you, nigga.
Yeah, so this is the event they was talking about.
Fuck you talk about, nigga? It's LA, nigga. That's what we do. We talk real shit, and I'm a platinum artist, so I can talk that shit, nigga. Talk your shit, too. Ain't nobody else gonna talk that shit because they ain't really. He ain't gonna say you ain't platinum, you ain't this. I'm a platinum artist, no feature, no radio, no video, nigga. Say I'm yo. Say I'm yo. Say I'm yo. It's LA, nigga. That's who I speak for, and that's who I run with, nigga. And when you down talking LA, nigga, I speak up.
So Dejan, if y'all don't know who Dejan is the creator of the LA Rap Report Card, right? This is the LA Rap Report Card, right? And what he does is he gives his grade of different artists from LA, right? He grades them on, and shout out to Dejan. I had him on my cooking show back in the day. I did his podcast. I did an episode on his podcast. But he grades the artists in 10 different categories. And then he divides the 10 different categories to give you the grade. And from there, you get your letter grade, right? And this year, I must say, this year report card looks a lot better than previous years, because in previous years this would be all F's, a bunch of F's going down the line. I see a lot of C's, I see a lot of C minuses, I see a few F's and a few D's, a couple A's, but you know, of course the A's go to like Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat got a B, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, Doja Cat got a B. So, a lot of people get in their feelings about this report card. But Dejan, I'm gonna be honest, Dejan is the only LA media person that actually give a lot of these artists platforms that nobody ever heard of. Like a lot of these people I never heard of. A lot of people I didn't know about until I seen Dejan Rap Report Card. And even though he gave him an F, I still go look up, oh, who is Smokey? Let me see what his music is about. You know? So he does give these people platforms that a lot of other people ain't doing. Right? And RJ, Mr. LA, he got a C. Right? And everybody said, yo, why do y'all care about his opinion? His opinion don't matter. Who is he? He a nobody. But if you look at it, each category gets a score, right? So even though you got a 10 in your cadence, you got a 6 in your catalog. You don't have a big catalog. You don't have a big beat selection. You got a 6. I'm not saying that personally. I'm just saying going off of Dejan's score, right? So all your grades, you might be excelling in a few different categories, but the average is out to a C. But yeah, so they saying he don't matter and his opinion don't matter, but then they get on stage and call him out.
Just like you tell the whole motherfucking internet, I'm gonna tell you, nigga. Fuck you talk about, nigga.
You know, and then of course, Dejan. If y'all know Dejan, y'all know Dejan. That's all I'm gonna say. He goes ahead and goes on his rant.
I'm not going back and forth with no blood nigga that paint his nails. I don't respect your gangster. I can't respect your gangster. You paint your nails. You don't know which side of the fence you on. You confused. You paint your nails. You want to be a girl. Shut up. You paint your nails. I can't go back and forth with a nigga that paint his nails. And all this gangster shit in his music and want to be a gangster rapper and blah, 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 bracket, but walking around painting his nails, fingernail polish on your nails. I don't respect the gangster. Get out of here with that shit. You don't speak for LA. You're an example of what not to do as an LA rapper. That's what the fuck RJ is. Let's keep it a buck. RJ is an example of what not to do as an LA rapper. If you want to stay a fucking local LA rapper and not be able to tour past Arizona and be performing at fucking...
Nah, I want to say RJ is a local LA rapper. RJ definitely did shows out of the country, let alone out of past Arizona. So I want to say he's a local LA rapper. But you know, Dejan popping his shit right now, you know?
Fucking block parties 15 years into your fucking career, then you do what RJ does. If you only want to have one platinum plaque after 15 years in the music business, then you follow RJ's blueprint.
Yeah, like the homie Airplane James said, a platinum plaque is a platinum plaque. Great accomplishment no matter how you slice it. You know, our artists go aluminum foil after 15 years. So a platinum plaque is a platinum plaque. That's nothing to frown your nose up at.
What I'm telling these new up-and-coming LA rappers is be like Tyler, be like Doja, be like Vince, be like Roddy Ricch. That's who you be like. You be like artistic. You be... Dejan. When Draco reached out and wanted...
Dejan talk reckless, but he don't be scared. He be outside. He be outside with these people, and Dejan is not afraid to get down. If y'all seen the video of him, somebody was trying to press him at, I think it was like Rolling Out or somewhere, and Dejan got down and knocked old boy out, and you haven't heard from old boy since. But let's go back and see what the homies at FMW had to say about it.
To them, they had a lot of LA artists on that event.
That's a consistent thing.
I believe so. I believe they do it like yearly.
Yeah, they had it last year for sure.
I think it's been going for a couple years.
Didn't Mark do it last year?
Shout out to them. I believe so. Yeah, that's when DJ Mason got shot. Yeah. Oh, that's not funny. He got shot on the way home.
Why would you say that, bro? I know, but
it wasn't at the event. It was on the way home.
I know, but you said it like gotcha.
No, that's how I remember what it was, because on the way home.
That's dark.
Yeah, but anyways, shout out to them. But no, they saw each other. It went viral with Compton AV going off, and they made amends. They was hugging on stage at the end of the day. I guess they squashed that shit, but I felt like with RJ, it didn't get squashed. RJ went off, popped it on his ass. I'm a platinum artist. I don't need nobody, And then Dejan was just sitting right there laughing. And then I thought it was over. But then he went ape shit on that.
What's ape shit?
Ape shit.
What do you think?
He said, you paint your nails, you can't get no shows past LA. Your
So
music
that's
don't go
ape shit?
past New Mexico. You ain't shit.
That's how you feel too, huh?
I said, damn.
That's how you feel too. It's crazy.
That's how you feel too.
I put that on me.
I'm just trying to feel like that's
I'm
ape
just saying
shit.
that's
ape shit
that's
to
going
you.
ape shit. If you degrading like that, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, that's what
Shout
it's
out
just
to
a
RJ.
couple
RJ do his
jokes.
thing, man.
It's a couple jokes though. You feel like that about RJ?
Oh, you think that's jokes?
I mean, it's a
I don't
couple
think- I
jokes.
don't think it was
You feel like
jokes.
they was that powerful?
They for sure powerful.
That's what you was thinking about too, huh?
What?
I'm just trying to figure it out. That wasn't that powerful.
If you address it on stage, it was powerful.
What was
Yeah,
powerful?
he should have said that on stage if he felt that way.
Yeah.
Who? Oh,
No?
Dejan?
Yeah.
If Dejan wasn't a factor, if Dejan's opinion didn't matter, he would never brought it up on stage. Like I don't pay attention to people that don't matter to me. People in my comments hating all the time. I don't pay attention to people that don't matter to me. So if they matter, if they pushing a movement that got some motion behind them, then
Yeah, he should have said that on stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that would be the time to say it if y'all right there. That should have been the
So,
time
you know
to
what
say
I'm
it.
saying? He
though.
really didn't go ape shit then. So he really
Dejan.
just hold out. You know what I'm saying? He really just went back and then hold out.
Maybe it's content.
He waited out.
Maybe it's content.
He waited
So
it
you think
out.
there's content between them?
Maybe at this point. Because
no.
if you saw
It's not content?
Nah.
RJ really
RJ
looked like
don't know how to do
he had a
content.
chip on his shoulder. He wanted to get that off for sure.
RJ don't know how to do content.
Oh, well, I'm like, damn. Well, maybe in Dejan, in his mind, it's like, he didn't do nothing to me. I'm going to keep it going.
Oh, okay.
It could be that.
He
I
ain't
don't
put
know.
his hands on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it going.
So it's the battle of words.
Maybe.
I want to say they squashed their beef. I think Joe Moses.
Dog walk, 2-step right, 10 to left, that's the dog walk. I can put your bitch on a leash, make her dog walk. Roost step, 2-step, dog walk. Anything considered.
See, Dejan platform a lot of artists, you know?
Your heel toes, y'all walk. Hey, do my dance, hey, dog walk. I can teach you how to dog walk. If you turning up, tell my shit, do the dog walk.
He might give you an F on the report card and he still platform your music and let the people judge for themselves. He just giving his opinion.
Dog walk.
But I want to say they squashed their beef. I think.
It's the facts right though. If you don't
Compton AV and Dejan was getting into it.
All right, let's get into it.
Your opinions is great, but the clickbait is weak. What you do for the culture is great, but sometimes we all got to take accountability. Keep putting out positivity. Let's build up more. Yeah, I think they squashed their beef, but I don't know.
See, did you get any points?
But on the internet,
like with RJ, if you saw a video come out, RJ beating up Dark Rainbow, would it be respected? I think people who hate Dark Rainbow and what he does will respect it. But I think as overall, the world respected seeing him beat up.
No. Should we give does Dejan get points?
And the reason why Pun is calling him Dark Rainbow, Pun gave him that name, Dark Rainbow, because Dejan is a gay man. So that's another factor that people are weighing in on this, because they're like, oh, if you can't beat him up because he's gay. I'm like, but at the end of the day, he's a man. Whether he's gay or not, he's a man. If a man disrespects another man, expect to fight that man, whether you gay, straight, or trans, or whatever.
For what? For doing what he doing. He said he was going to ape shit. So I'm just saying, did somebody give him some points for doing what he did?
Nah, but I mean, if somebody
Because
get
there's
at
probably
you,
a
you
lot
gotta
of people
rebuttal.
that's laughing and thinking that shit is funny or thinking he got the one up.
He gets recognition. I will say that. If you get Snoop Dogg to respond,
couple times.
Man, that's Snoop Dogg, man. He almost 80.
No,
this is like old folks.
Nigga, that's one of the biggest, that's probably the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah, but
what that mean?
Saying Snoop Dogg is 80 is crazy. But yeah, even cause Dejan have critiques of Snoop Dogg. You know, Snoop Dogg bought Death Row Records, and I don't know what's going on over there, but according to Dejan, he ain't put on no new LA rappers. He ain't signed no new LA rappers. He haven't produced any new LA rappers. He put out I guess a compilation album with a bunch of the old Death Row members, and Dejan critiques them and talked down about that. And Snoop Dogg replied to Dejan like, "Yo, you don't know what I got going on, blase, blase, blase." But yeah, Snoop Dogg actually was in Dejan comments multiple times talking to Dejan about his commentary. So for them to say like, oh, Dejan ain't got no motion, like Snoop Dogg, one of the biggest rappers in the world, one of the most famous rappers in the world, had time to respond to Dejan. I would say he got something going on over there.
Call Snoop Dogg washed?
No, he's just older.
Why say 80? He's not 80.
Well, you know, I'm just exaggerating.
It's crazy, bro.
I'm just exaggerating what's going on.
Why call
Maybe
80?
out of touch.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know right now. When you think about it, like an artist is supposed to be held at such a high standard, right? Somebody like a RJ as a legend, and he's reacting to somebody that is just on the come up, then he is getting points.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I think when you're looking at it from the perspective of it being like behind the scenes, we don't give a. But to the world, which it does matter, because to artists, it does matter what people think about their music and how they appear and all that. He is essentially getting points.
But if you
getting points
care,
to
you
a
give it
being.
validation.
That's what I'm saying. So then,
So like, let's say
Dark Rainbow
let's
is getting
say,
points.
let's say you taking care of your family, making ends.
Was I tripping or did y'all hear that? Nobody's here but me, so.
You going crazy, you touring, and give you a D. What does that change for you?
Nothing.
Yeah, so why would you care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Rainbow is to RJ what Glasses is to Drake.
I don't get the
wouldn't think
analogy,
so.
but okay.
Like it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Like last.
Yeah, Glasses Malone always. I want to say, what word am I looking for? He's always critiquing Drake, music, always talking about Drake. So he's basically saying Dejan is Glasses and RJ is Drake.
Also, he's just like
does it stop his flow?
It doesn't affect Drake at
Exactly.
all.
It don't affect him. So
But the more you react to it, you give it the validation.
No,
you do.
You do 100%. I think so.
If you're an artist and his words get you bent out of shape or get mad about
you talking about the artist? I thought you were about like as a consumer.
Oh, no,
the artist. Yeah. The artist
sure.
by addressing it, you give it life.
you give
like
validation
Snoop Dogg
to it.
addressing them gave it life.
100%.
If Snoop Dogg would never responded to that shit, I wouldn't have probably never seen it.
100%.
Because the more Snoop Dogg responds, it shows like why are you arguing with me if it's not true?
Right.
Yeah.
But the more artists going back and forth with you, you have a plethora of artists doing this. So you got AV, you got RJ, you got Snoop, you got West Coast. It's like, hey, what's up? You going back and forth with this shit. You give it validation.
So maybe this
Right. A lot of different well-known West Coast artists are going back and forth with Dejan. So they got to give him some type of credibility.
is his marketing, guerrilla marketing.
Who?
Dejan. This is his marketing. This is how I'm gonna get respond.
100%.
Even though I may not feel 100% this way, I'm gonna say it because I know it's gonna trigger you to respond.
I think you really feel that way though.
Is Dejan what Academics was to Chicago at some point? Maybe not at the high level.
No.
Not at the high level. Let me finish. Let me finish. Not at the super.
World Chirac versus Dejan.
I mean,
Covering murders. Wasn't covering their rapping ability.
No. I mean, maybe not that. Maybe not that certain type of content. But what I'm saying, like the avenue of going against like a whole city, like in that way. Essentially, he's kind of going.
He
against
wasn't really going against them.
No.
He was just giving them nicknames when real murders was happening. That's a little different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, let's say one of your homies smoke, he'd be like, the Berea bandit killed this guy, and people was banning that shit. Yeah, like that's what he was saying.
He was putting on the map.
He was
Berea
giving
Bandit,
and give
crazy.
legendary like Lil Reese, the Grim Reaper,
Grim
like
Reaper.
legendary names. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like that's the side that Dejan he tries to do with breaking artists, but that don't get as much praise or looks. But when he does the negative shit, that's what gets all the looks. Because he definitely highlights artists on the magazine and who's next. You know what I mean? The next 10.
Right. The same thing I said. He definitely highlights a lot of up and coming LA artists and give them a platform, but nobody really interacts or, sees that. They only see the negative.
To come out of LA, but nobody talks about that per se. But they all talk about the negative shit.
People like the negativity, man.
Yeah.
I mean, react to that shit.
But shout out to RJ, man. Shout out to Dejan, man. Y'all get. I see. He said Joe Moses got him on the phone. So shout out Joe Moses, man, for stepping in. And Joe Moses got
both of them on the phone.
Yeah, that's what it said in the comment in the section.
Joe Moses got them on the phone and squashed it.
I guess so.
No, I think
that's good for Joe, man. Joe is embracing being a big homie of the West Coast.
He's stepping up, trying to help.
Yeah.
So are they embracing him? Is what I'm saying.
As far as who?
Are they embracing Joe Moses
as a media
If you
personality?
get on the phone with somebody, you ain't embracing.
If you could get me on the phone and talk to somebody, I with you.
Oh, okay. So they.
Yeah, I definitely think they're embracing Dejan. He is a force out here in LA. He is definitely one of the top, LA media
Talk to somebody,
personalities.
I with you.
He's definitely Yeah, he's definitely one of the top LA media personalities out here right now.
Bro, then.
If you call me, T-Rail, and say, hey, I need you to go on the phone with somebody, I'll be like, all right, I'll do it for you. Let's do it.
So yeah, so Joe Moses, Dijon, like the platform, everything
Yeah, I think
you
he posted
represent.
on the story. I think he posted like, oh my, yeah, me and Deshaun just got off the phone, had a good conversation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was about RJ because I think when he posted that, a couple of days later, this happened. So RJ might still be like, Joe, I love you, bro.
No, this is underneath his post yesterday. He did the post where he went off on RJ for like 3 minutes. Underneath the caption, it says, I just got off the phone with Joe Moses, and he put us on the phone together. That's the post I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
So what if I was honest and I took this approach that Dijon was he's taking? Do you think they'll treat me like that? Or
You want to know why? You want to know?
you think they'll be a little bit more mad at me?
Because you're such a, you're the most critiquing punk ass behind the scenes. You would be amazing.
No, that's because you're a gangster. Well, you're a gang member. You're affiliated. Let's say you're affiliated and you're a male. You're a straight male. So their approach to you would be get down instantly.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And, I think to a certain extent, like I want to whoop your.
If he critique anybody, they gonna wanna press him immediately. They gonna wanna fight, get down immediately.
Ass, but at the same time, they be like, I ain't gonna get no points from that. That's how every when it comes to fighting a guy, like I ain't gonna get no points from that.
We gotta stop thinking like that. He a man.
And when another too. It's the possibility.
It's a lose-lose.
That's crazy.
It's a lose-lose. You go viral and then drag you because what's the man that got beat up at Rolling Loud? We ain't saw him since.
I don't remember.
I mean,
Yeah, he got. That's what I said earlier. He got beat up at Rolling Loud.
if you lose, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So
It's a lose-lose situation.
If I sock you up, then you gonna be like, bro, why you do that, man?
So let me ask you a real question.
You know what I mean? Like, they just gonna be asking me.
Let me ask you a real question. Back on feed. If a video come out,
yeah,
Dejan, bing, 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 bing it up RJ, bing, 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 are you posting it?
For sure
Yes.
he is.
He posted it. For sure.
He for sure posted it.
He's like, the news gotta be the news.
RJ gonna be the first team to pay that shit.
Before Back on Fit posted it, ABP network gonna post that motherfucker.
So if you beat up Dijon, people gonna be like, bro, why you do that?
That's getting posted too.
So you saying like that's no points? People gonna look down on you? So you said people gonna look down on you?
Nah, I think people gonna be like, you're mean. You're kind of like a bully.
They gonna look down on me for this shit.
Yeah.
Man,
It's too many ways for Dejan to win. He getting beat up. He could be like, thank you. Ooh. Like,
You know, I guess.
Yeah.
there's so many ways, bro.
I've been waiting.
Hit me harder.
Pause. Hey yo, pause. Hit me harder.
I win either way, bro.
Hit me harder.
That's
It's
funny,
crazy.
man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so RJ, my advice would be like it is a Snoop Dogg. Like, man, just leave it alone.
You paint your nails.
Just leave it alone, man. Unless you're gonna go there, just leave it alone, man.
Only like that is me.
Oh,
They're gonna fight.
Oh, he's getting mixed up by these Oh, he's getting mixed up by these
Now he on the ground. They come and try to jump. They over there trying to jump Dijon. Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Don't go there.
lose, dog.
Let me see. What else is there to? But yeah, people, so that was our live stream for today. Thank you guys for joining me on this live. We're going to do this every day. Like I said, we're going to do this every day. Come kick it with your boy. I'm gonna figure out. I'm figuring this out. This is day 2. I'm figuring it out as we go. It'll get better. Each day is gonna get better. Like I said, Amy gave me the suggestion that the videos was too small, so I made myself small in the corner over here. Let me actually make myself bigger now so I could close out my segment. But yeah, so I made myself smaller. We had a mishap today. The mic died on me. My headphones stopped working. A whole bunch of stuff, but we gonna figure it out. We gonna get it together. And like I said, thank you guys for joining me on this live. I'm stalling, trying to buy time because I want to do a complete 2 hours today. We had 1 hour and 56 minutes. Come back tomorrow. Arfton, if you're still in the comments, if you're in LA, pull up on me. We could talk some shit on live and just have a good time, man. This is what we're gonna do for the next 4 months. So get used to me. We going live every day for the next 4 months till I hit 20,000 subscribers, until I hit 4,000 watch hours. I also got my season is gonna launch real soon. Shout out to DJ Lady X. She's the one that actually made this logo for me for my new podcast. We'll talk about my new podcast soon. Off the menu. This is me getting out the kitchen. We're not talking about food. We probably talk about food, but this is me getting out the kitchen and just talking about, life and what's going on and interviewing different people. And I know Shine is coming to LA soon, so hopefully I can get an interview with Shine. If anybody knows Shine, tell Shine to tap in with your boy. I see he be doing like the big interviews, Drink Champs, and what else interviews he did? He did Drink Champs. He did The Breakfast Club, I believe. He did a bunch of different interviews. So hopefully in LA he can get with a smart creator like me, somebody that's actually from Belize that want to sit down with him and interview him. I got the dope ass studio here, so it's not gonna be low budget. It's gonna be top notch. I gotta buy a new mic though, because this mic died on me. So I gotta buy a new mic. I got the seasonings coming. I got the website coming. Got the podcast coming. I'm thinking about on Sundays, if maybe I'll so follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna have all kind of graphics and stuff, but like I said, this is only my second day doing it. We're gonna get everything together. Follow me on Instagram. I probably post on Friday. Fridays I'm gonna post ingredient lists. And on Sundays, we're gonna be in the kitchen going live, cooking together as a family. We're gonna have family. We got Sunday dinners, cooking live as a family. I'll post the ingredients on Fridays, so you guys have enough time to buy the ingredients and cook with me on Sundays. So that's one of the plans. Like I said, I'm gonna have people come over. We're gonna do some trivia. We're gonna play some games. They get the answer right, they good. They get the answer right, they're gonna have to squeeze the little shocking machines and shock themselves. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this live. It's not easy talking for 2 hours, especially talking to a camera. It feels kind of weird, but we're gonna get through it. We just gonna get better as each day go by. It's not easy, but the more you do it, the more you master your craft. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning into this live, and I'll see y'all same time, same place tomorrow. And we just hit the 2 hour mark, 2 hour and 5 seconds. I'll see y'all tomorrow.